the dumbest internet trends people actually did. I know all of them, bruh. What is that? The skull emoji? Skull breaker I said emoji. Okay, there's a trend of like the skull breaker trend challenge. There was the put the penny on the charging cable with the head. Okay, it was the devious lick, right? You have to lick a toilet, right? Okay, and yeah, there's a lot of them, bro. I cannot name. I could name Renegade though. I know Renegade was not dangerous, but it was dangerous for your stomach because you needed food, bro.
Craziest internet trends people actually did.
Okay.
We've all been there. It's late at night, you're on your phone, and you're scrolling and scrolling until you see a video on your feed that just boggles your mind. It's a video of a person doing the dumbest thing you can imagine. And you quickly
the great challenge.
Truly embarrassed for that individual.
Yo,
but as you continue to scroll, you realize that that individual wasn't the only person doing that dumb.
Yo, I remember the great challenge, bro. Okay, people think they're gonna succeed with this. I saw some people succeed with the great challenge, bro, but that was minority. But bro, majority of people, bro, they broke their back. They're thinking that they could do the great challenge.
Thing. And as you continue to scroll and scroll, you notice that more and more people are seemingly all doing this incredibly stupid task. You have just stumbled upon a dumb internet trend. Whether it was on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook, the moral of the story is the same. Someone does something really dumb, it gets a lot of likes and are laughing at you, not with you, and people who are hungry for views and attention begin to do the exact same thing in hopes that they could also reach internet fame. I'm not gonna act like I'm a saint here. I remember being a kid and doing the Harlem Shake, hoping to go viral and be a part of cool Harlem Shake compilations. But today's video is not about the Harlem Shake. It is about internet trends that were very obviously dangerous and in some cases even deadly. And as always, this video is only going to get crazier as the list goes on. Let's begin. The outlet challenge. Admittedly, this is going to be—
Yo, this is what I'm talking about. It's called the outlet. Bro, how stupid are you to put okay, how crazy are you to put a penny on the, over there? Just to see the electricity bursting up.
Same thing I talk about in this entire video, which is crazy because this first entry is literally wild. I don't know about you, but I was definitely a curious kid. And one of the things I was quite curious about is what would happen if I stuck something in the electrical outlet. Fortunately, I never acted on this curiosity. However, I know a lot of people watching this video likely did. With that being said, I do think there's—
I remember when I was little, or like in general, bro, I put my hand like you know how when you're about to charge it, right? I put my finger, bro, and the electricity was like tss. Okay, when the electric shot you, right? When a little tiny thing shock you, right? You won't feel it after like 3 seconds. That's my experience, bro, okay? It doesn't hurt. It feels weird.
Bit of a difference between doing it accidentally or not knowing what's going to happen and doing it intentionally knowing exactly what's going to happen. Which brings me to the outlet challenge. Starting in the early 2020s, videos started circulating on TikTok specifically of people performing a prank where they would plug their phone charger into a wall, tight enough so it would hold, but loose enough so there was a gap, and then they would drop a penny into that gap to see what would happen. The outcome of the seemingly simple machine was, well, a homemade bomb. And that's not exaggeration. Nearly every video of people performing this—
I saw a video like this on TikTok, bro, okay? Even firefighters show up. That's how dangerous this
challenge or trend resulted in a massive flash, typically resulting in an explosion and in some cases a fire. I wasn't able to track down the exact first instance of this challenge or trend taking place, but simply by searching outlet challenge, you can see that this trend was making waves specifically among— if you had nothing better to do, you could literally spend days watching TikToks of people at school plugging in phone chargers, dropping pennies, and causing explosions in the back of class, which unsurprisingly is dumb, but also dangerous. In the most tame examples of people performing this trend, the outcome—
Bro, it's like they want to become Electro from Spider-Man, from The Amazing Spider-Man. Like, bro, you want to become Static Shock from DC Universe, bro? What am I talking about?
would only be sparks and electrical shortage. However, in more extreme examples, full-blown electrical fires were started, smoke coming out of outlets, electrical outlets melting, and walls being covered in black tar, and classrooms needing to be evacuated. And I say classrooms specifically because nearly every video I watched about this challenge was once again at school. A place where kids felt like they could just, light off bombs and get away with it, I guess. Beyond the obvious stupidity of this challenge, there's truly not much more to say besides, I suppose, the danger or craziness aspect of it, which really really isn't too crazy compared to some of the things we're going to discuss, but there is a very real opportunity for danger when performing this challenge, as a full-blown house fire is an extremely likely outcome if only a few sparks went in the wrong direction. Now, fortunately, that wasn't the case in most instances, but that doesn't mean that numerous students were at least suspended, expelled, or even charged for arson as a result of this completely dumb prank.
I bet they were
Honestly,
arrested.
there's not too much more to say about it because it is extremely simple, and it's my opinion that the reason that this trend took off was because it was so easy to perform, and the result was a rather dramatic visual display. However, the ends don't justify the means here, because as I stated, intentionally shorting an electrical supply.
Okay, yes, I understand if Gen Z did this, bro, okay? But if it was millennial, bro, like, come on, do you not have, like, important stuff to do? I mean, I'm not saying Gen Z doesn't have important stuff to do.
Public place is not only dangerous, but it's also illegal. And some kids that were dumb enough to try this challenge learned one or both of those lessons the hard way. Oh, and I guess as a little bit of a bonus for this first section, there was also a similar challenge going on around the same time that was known as the Chromebook challenge. And all that this challenge involved
the
was
Chromebook. You want to destroy a Chromebook, bro, and throw it in the classroom thinking you're inventing something, bro?
Provided Chromebook and a metal object. And how this challenge would be performed is you take your Chromebook, take your metal object, and put the metal object in the charge port of the Chromebook. And once again, similarly to the outlet challenge, the results were dramatic and in some cases outright dangerous.
But there's the one where they punch it though. They punch the screen, you know, bend it, and then they just throw it.
There's a line of people participating in this challenge should devices begin to spark, smoke, or in some cases even catch on fire. And these fires have reportedly melted charge ports, burnt desks, and generally done enough damage to the Chromebook itself and school property to charge students with property destruction, or in some cases, similar to the outlet challenge, arson. So yeah, like I said, this is one of the more tame challenges we're going to discuss, but it's no less brain dead. Because sure, making a fireball with a penny may seem cool, and it's definitely funny to see on a TikTok, but the reality of the situation after 2 seconds of fame on TikTok ends is a much darker reality I hope none of you have experienced. Let's move on. Okay, so far we've talked about a lot of dumb things people have actually done, but ironically, I really quickly want to talk about something that's smart that people unfortunately don't do enough, and that's see a doctor, which is why it's sponsored by ZocDoc.
Yo. Okay, cool sponsor though. The way he said it, the really cool thing is see a doctor. I mean, this is not a sponsor, by the way. Okay, I'm just saying it's funny. Gen Z too. I'm Gen Z. It's best for you to see a doctor, bro, if you're doing this trend, bro. Okay.
The door kicking challenge. In the first section, we talked about people intentionally doing damage
this is the
to
ding dong
public
ditch
property. However, in this section, the door kicking challenge turns it up a notch. Because in this very bright internet trend, what people do is intentionally damage private property, which not only comes with stricter repercussions, but also comes with a lot more danger for reasons we'll get into. If you're watching this video and are a similar age to me, or probably any age, you likely at some point in your life have gone ding dong ditching, or at least that's what we called it where I'm from.
Hell nah, bro. I never been to ding dong ditch, bro. Not because I'm mature, but it's like I don't think I have never did that before. I'm very nonchalant person.
That pre-internet challenge consisted of going to somebody's house, knocking on the door, running away, hiding in a bush somewhere, and waiting for them to come outside for them to see, well, nobody at their door. And if you were extra crazy, you would do it once or twice more as well. And that was basically the extent of ding dong ditching. Harmless, funny, but as an adult, I see how it is annoying. Although Ring cameras, I think, have more or less destroyed this entire hobby, which might be a good thing. Now, the door kick challenge differs a bit from ding dong ditching because in this internet trend, you're not simply knocking on somebody's front door. What you're doing is you're filming yourself donkey kicking someone's front door and running away. The major difference between these two activities—
Yo, if you get caught by these cameras, bro, these rings.com, whatever, you're cooked. Why did I say ring.com? If you get caught by these door cameras, you're cooked.
If you couldn't already tell, is that a donkey kick, A, does a lot more damage,
unless you want to make friends,
is a lot more threatening to anybody inside the house, and C, filming yourself doing this only adds to the case going to be built against you once charges are inevitably laid. I honestly have no idea when knocking on the door became not enough and having to literally kick the door became the new standard for ding dong ditching, but the fact that people not only upped the ante and also film themselves, to me, is once again mind-boggling.
Yo, chat, if you want to make friends, bro, do not do this. People who do the ding dong ditch is only one reason, okay? They're doing it for video trend, bro. They're doing it for trend.
When you're discussing internet or TikTok trends, you're not necessarily discussing the brightest bunch. And while this trend may seem extremely simple, the repercussions are definitely not. Because since this trend had gained popularity in the late 2010s and early 2020s, videos have of course gone viral online, and gullible children who partook in this challenge got in some serious hot water. As of today, several teenagers have already faced criminal charges for participating in this break. And some of the charges that have been placed on kids trying to be funny or go viral are the following: trespassing, vandalism, and even attempted burglary. Those charges alone are nothing to play with. But on top of the legal repercussions that kids have faced from doing this challenge, you also have to recognize the possible violent repercussions from homeowners. I'm not sure where you're watching this video from in the world, but I know there's at least a handful of you that—
I'm watching it from New York, baby, you know what I'm saying? Yo, let me get that chopped cheese. You know what I'm saying? I like my chopped cheese good, bro, with ketchup and mayonnaise, bro. All of that, bro, in my chopped cheese, bro. No, matter of fact, give me my chicken cutlet, bro, you know what I'm saying? With some ranch. Okay, I don't care. I might have diabetes, bro. So yeah, bro, I'm from New York. Never mind.
That are watching this that are saying, if this happened to my house, the first thing I'm doing is grabbing my gun. And because this trend was popular in the United States, that was the reality for a lot of homeowners. Now, part of this trend was after you kick the door, you leave. So fortunately, there wasn't many violent altercations taking place. However, if you were taking place in the door kicking challenge and happened to still be in the sightline of somebody who was armed and assuming that you were trying to break into their home, you may be leaving that property with more holes than you entered with. And I'm not saying that's necessarily right or wrong, but I'm saying that that's just a—
Yo, chat, am I crazy for saying this, or like American people should not own a gun? Self-defense is everything, but it's like, bro, you don't know how to fight, bro? Especially men. Even the men who don't fight a lot can fight too, and women too. I'm not saying women cannot fight. I mean, everybody should learn like how to combat. I know that sounds corny for you lazy people. I'm sorry.
If you go to somebody's property at night, donkey kick their door, in some case literally breaking the lock and opening it, I wouldn't say it's unfair for a homeowner to assume their house is being broken into. Just imagine how terrifying that can be. In my case, I actually can. Before I even knew this challenge was a thing, I literally had been more or less of the victim of this prank. I was at one of my friends' houses. We were having a big event for one of my friend's birthdays. The house was probably full with 20 people. And near the end of the night, we were all sitting in his living room when we heard a massive bang at the front door.
Oh, hell no.
It was late at night. This bang was not normal. It wasn't windy out, and we knew something was seriously wrong. Me and all my friends stood up. Instantly, were terrified, but assumed a position. And the first thing we did was go and check out the front door. Fortunately, the door was locked. We unlock it, we open it, and nobody was there. But we noticed a massive— they tried to kick down the door, failed, and ran off. But my friend who owned the home said that this was likely a kid trying to pull a prank and not to worry about it. And then he pulled up his Ring camera, saw the footage of the kid donkey kicking the door and running away, and well, we had a bit of a laugh about it, but we were all still rather irritated and on edge for the rest of the night. I think I've already given the door kicking challenge too much time as it is, because it is extremely simple and, well, I really don't need to explain how it's dumb and in some cases dangerous. But I will add a bit of a bonus as well, because similar to the door kicking challenge, there was also a similar trend that was going on, I feel like in 2023, 2024, known as the Kool-Aid Man challenge. In this challenge, you would typically run through somebody's fence, usually late at night, usually while drunk, and the sole goal was to break
this
a hole
trend,
in the
bro.
fence and then move on with your day.
There.
For this trend, I didn't find too many examples of—
I was about to say they're great. No, that's the Frost and Flakes commercial, the tiger. I know that was a lion sound effects, but I'm just saying, like, wait, do lion and tiger roar the same way? I'm kidding, I know what am I talking about. So this guy is like Kool-Aid. Oh yeah, right.
Filming themselves doing it. However, there is so many examples on security footage of people walking typically drunkenly down the sidewalk at night, seeing a fence, and then just deciding to run through it and continue on with their stroll. Unsurprisingly, this challenge, like the door kicking challenge, has also resulted in numerous charges being laid on teens and young adults thinking they're funny and getting a serious reality check.
Stop doing these trends, bro, especially if I press it too early, bro. Stop doing these trends, especially if you're adult. Your follicle, whatever brain parts is developing, bro. It means you are aware of everything in life. Like, come on. Okay, if it's kids doing these trends, I understand. But like adults, bro. Yo, adults who does like a childish thing in public, they need help. I'm not gonna lie, there's adults out there. Okay, I have never seen one who do child things in private. Because if they do it outside, bro, everybody's gonna call them childish. Who plays toys, dolls, action figures. Hey, that's fine, bro. You wanna play some action figures because that's your childhood, you know what I'm saying? Just do you, bro. I need to buy new scarf, bro. You see, yo, chat, should I buy a pink scarf? I know people, they say pink is a color for women. Pink is for everyone. I know if I wear pink, my people gonna call me gay. YouTube, if you're watching this, please subscribe, okay? I really appreciate it. Thank you.